Whenever I start my line art, I use lots of rough lines all over the place so I can get a general idea for the weight and the angle I'm working with. I'm pretty scatterbrained, so I have to have a lot of references around. So what I'm doing for this, I just keep the same setup from every panel. That way I won't have to do it from scratch for each one. So for my panels, I have this all listed out together. I start with the paper texture, so it shows me where my image will actually be. Then I start with the rough line art, then narrow it down to the regular line art. Then I'm on my coloring process right now. After that, I'll do the shadows. The shadows are pretty layered. As you see with this one, I usually have one main layer and it's in blue, but I might go in the coloring layer and actually do some of it right there. My reference characters down here, I actually did this in marker and colored it in Krita. And to keep some of that same marker look, I make sure that everything's kind of layered and rough around the edges. Something I do to make sure I stay within the lines and to speed up my process is I actually just use a selection tool. There's a lot less erasing involved and there's a lot less overlapping. And I can always just go back and just use a regular pencil tool if I need to. Down here, I keep all of my reference palettes along with it. This is what I use for the lighting and the shadow. And this, honestly, I don't remember, but I'll figure it out. And I'll keep an old panel up, that way I could just eyedrop tool any of the stuff that doesn't pop up all the time, because it would be kind of tedious to have a palette for everything. Right now, I'm trying to mesh the bookshelf with everything else so I don't have to redraw it. It saves so much time. Once I use Blender, I think I'm going to start using that for the backgrounds. That way I don't have to remake it all the time. But for now, I'm just kind of doing a collage. So I have a picture of this bookshelf, and I just threw it in here. So I'm just going to kind of mesh it with everything else. When I do my art, I usually just use my hands. I have a touchscreen laptop, so it helps with a lot of the process. But when I'm using the selection tool, it doesn't really matter what I use. Okay, now I'm starting my cleanup process. I'm almost done with this. I'll be uploading the next 2 or 3 panels today. And I'm also going to be joining Webtoons. John, thank you for the suggestion on that. It makes a lot of sense. It was about time I did that. My second shadow layer is a lot simpler. It's just in grayscale and it's not nearly as dark. It's on 50% opacity, so it's more for just the details. The panel is almost done. Now all I need is the script. Thanks for tuning in. Come back later if you want to see more. I appreciate it.